Yeah, was talking to somebody today, and I found out something, and I will share that with you. Maybe I'll call this video "Trump is Hitler, Watch Out What You Say," because of the fact that if Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States, was Hitler, and we're not living in America as people have been stating, we are in Nazi Germany. Now, let's just take a little thought about that. If everything we know about Hitler and everything we know about Nazi Germany, World War II, pre-World War II, when he was running around and getting arrested, and he fought in World War I as a corporal, and he's a painter and all that, vegetarian, I guess. So we do know about him. We also know that's important to please subscribe, like, share, and comment. Give me your comments down below. But we're now being told by certain segments of our population that Trump is Hitler. So he's 145 years old. And this is Nazi Germany. Well, let's just think for a minute. With social media and IP addresses and social media searches, let's say, just quick Google it or whatever. If you were posting the stuff that you've posted, the one lady I was talking to, she said she'd been seeing a certain thing on MSNBC, and I said, that's not true. I told her, that's not true. That's going to turn out to be an untrue statement. MSNBC, I think they ended up paying $1 million, maybe $2 million on that one. I can't remember. They have to have stories that are anti-Trump and pro somebody else. Whoever's not Donald Trump, whoever's not George Bush or whoever, Ronald Reagan, whoever they might want to say. But they're going to take the opposite. They say it's an 80-20. There's 80-20. 80% of Americans want illegal aliens that are criminals. That every illegal alien they say is a criminal because they cross the border. But the ones that are doing crime once they're here, gang members, people selling drugs, murderers, etc. We want them out of here. We just want them to be gone. Either sent back to their country or maybe sent to this prison in El Salvador, or maybe some other countries are actually talking about building similar prisons to take population that is undesirable, not legal citizens, but undesirable people, segments of the population that's unpopular, where they want those people because they get money for housing them. I don't know how much America would pay. Let's say they want to pay, I don't know, Colombia, Yugoslavia, whatever. Maybe there's another area that would like to build a prison. Maybe it's, the London Towers, whatever. But that would be willing to take these people. But 80% of us say we don't want them to be here. I'm included in that. I believe that if you were to victimize a child, maybe a elderly person, someone that can't defend themselves at all, you need to go. Sorry, folks. I'm sorry. I don't believe that even if they can be rehabilitated, why would we want to spend the money trying to rehabilitate them when we have the option of saying you need to go? But so there was a story about something on there, and they made this story about this, and I said that's not going to be true. And 2 days later, they recant. They bring back. I can't remember what they call it. Something back. They fall back. They march back, hike back, whatever it is, their story. And it turned out it was not true. But they have to have stories that are saying that anything Republican, MAGA now, Tesla, it's all negative, right? They were so excited about Tesla. They went up there into space and got the astronauts back and all that. We were all excited about that. But then, this guy named Elon Musk found some overspending, some wrongful spending, some theft, whatever. And now we must hate him. We're told by certain media, in this case it was MSNBC, you got to hate Trump, you got to hate Vance, you got to hate, you got to hate George Bush, both George Bushes and Reagan. You got to hate Elon Musk. You got to hate anyone. Kid Rock. I'm not a big fan of Kid Rock. I don't think his music's all that great. I can't tell you what he sings. And what if I like a song by Beyonce? What if I like a song by someone else? Eminem, he endorsed Kamala Harris. But what happened is that they told everybody, MSNBC, CNN, a lot NBC stage, they told you, tap, tap, tap. Did you believe them when they told that Kamala Harris is going to win, and likely she was going to win in a landslide? I said, well, she's not going to win. It's not going to be a landslide. Walz is not good for the ticket. Walz is not good for anything. Walz is a liar, stolen valor, etc. He didn't help her. He was supposed to help her with the masculine vote, the masculine voters, and help with the veterans. What did he do? He ruined it, because the veterans are saying, well, we know that this guy is he's a stolen valor. They don't like him. They call him coward. And whenever he walks down the street, they scream at him. They interrupt his thing. You're a coward. And we're not getting anything done if you keep calling me a coward. Jazz hands, jazz hands, jazz hands. But they were telling her this. They were telling people this, and people started believing it. And this one lady that I know. So if you were Hitler, let's say he was Hitler. Donald Trump is Hitler, and you're Karen. You're a Karen, and your name is Karen Smith, and you say Donald Trump is a big fat pig, and he's disgusting. That's all you have to say. Donald Trump is a big fat pig and he's disgusting. That's what you said. And you say, oh, Karen, please don't say that kind of thing. I happen to like him, or I don't like him that much, but I don't think you should say those mean things about him. Well, there's that turn in your buddy thing. And then I tell someone, they tell someone, then they tell the Gestapo, right? That would be the Gestapo. And then I say, I'm mowing my lawn. Hey, well, I haven't seen Karen for a while. Where's Karen? Hey, I look over. I don't know. I see a couple of newspapers and some mail stacked up. Maybe she's on vacation. I don't know. And then 2 weeks later, there's newspapers everywhere. The grass is this high. There's one of those white boxes like this that can't come out of the side from the post office where you're going to be gone for a while. And they fill your mail in there. And it's full. It's overflowing. And then I call the police, and I go over with them, and we look in the windows, and we don't see Karen. So they call in, and then all of a sudden their phone goes off, the radio goes off, and they talk on the radio. Oh, what? Oh, okay. And then we leave because Karen is no more. She's no more. And the warning on the radio says, get out of there or there'll be no more too. Because what are you doing over there, police? You know not to do that. This is the state police. This is the Gestapo. You get out of there, you'd be killed. Killed. Yeah, you'd be killed for that. So I don't think about much. I'm not very smart, but I don't really think that Donald Trump is Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was a very slender man. They say he might have been a homosexual. I don't know. And he has a little mustache. Trump doesn't have a mustache. Trump has orange hair, right? His face is orange. His hair is orange. It looks like this Hitler guy had dark hair. And I believe, really, if you look at the life expectancy of a German person at that time, I don't think the life expectancy was 155 years, 160 years, however old he would be today. So I'm going to go on a limb. I'm on a limb. I don't think that Donald Trump is Hitler. So I told this one lady, I met her on set. I met her husband on set first. He's a nurse, a male nurse. What? I thought males on TV, the man is a doctor, the women are nurses. But he's a male nurse. I met him on Strong Medicine. I believe it was Strong Medicine. And I don't know if he did technical advice or if he's just an actor with technical experience. Setting up this thing and, setting up one of those little monitors, boop, 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 next to your bed, or pretending to set up an IV or something in your arm. I don't know what you, but they had something that had that experience. I got the hiccups. He was in the Marine Corps when he became a nurse. Or did he? Yeah, he had an associate's degree when he went in, and he was going to college while in the military. We had this program in the Air Force. I know they had one was called Bootstrap, and you'd go and they let you just not go into duty. You'd go to the college instead. And while you're at the college instead, you would have to, I think it's for every year they let you do Bootstrap, you had to give 2 years or something like that, or something like that. So I think he ended up doing a 4-year enlistment after he got his degree, or he was a commissioned officer. Is it called an enlistment if you're an enlisted man or an officer man or an enlisted woman? Or enlisted, or I don't know. But anyway, so I met him there. Then his wife also, she wanted to be on a project that we had. We were looking for a pharmacist, someone that could play a pharmacist, knew the pharmacist lingo, knew about medicines and all this stuff. And he knew that I was helping with the casting of that. And I got her a role on there. He wasn't just background. He was you do, like a recurring day player, a recurring support actor on Strong Medicine. So I got her the gig as a pharmacist because she is a pharmacist, and she did great work. And hadn't heard from her a while, but she is a compounding pharmacist. Like I say, compound. If this medicine works really good, but it has something that's not good, they take it out and they put these two medicines together. And if a doctor gives a prescription, because she's a doctor too, a pharmacist is a doctor. If the doctor gives a prescription for something and they study, it says that this medicine works well with this medicine, but I don't want them to have to take, a whole tablet of this and a whole tablet of this when I don't want them cutting medicines and mixing it at home. I want a compounded medication. I guess they put these together and they put different chemicals, and they're like chemists. They have anyway, they go to regular pharmacy school, she told me, and then they have to go to like 1, 2, or up to 4 years extra. So she got her 4 year. She went to college. She went to high school, up to high school to 12th grade, 4 years of her to get her bachelor's, and then she got accepted into medical school. I don't know if she had to get a master's. I guess she didn't. I guess she did 4 years, and then all the way up to get her pharmacy doctoral. And then she went to after she was a pharmacist for 2 years, I guess she said, she went to compounding pharmacy school. Where do they have those? Maybe at regular pharmacy schools. I don't know. Does UCLA have a program like that? USC. What about Ohio State? They seem to have a good football team. Does Notre Dame have one? I don't know. Let's take a look at that. Whoop, whoop, whoop. You tell me in the comment section, where do they have compounding pharmacy school? But so she got that, and I hadn't heard from them for a long time. And then I was at the VA, and she was there because she is working on some project there. I guess it's a clinical trial. And we talked for a little bit, and then I told her, please tell your husband hello, because he got her for me to be in that movie. So I got the kudos, and she got the money. What's better, kudos or money? I don't know. Kudos or do-re-mi. So she wrote me on Facebook, and she was pretty normal, just normal stuff. She was, I told my husband, but she told me she watched some of my videos and saw that I said that Donald Trump was going to be elected president, and she was, how dare you say that you're going to encourage people not to vote for. At this point, I think it was Kamala Harris. Biden had already stepped out. That's how fast all this stuff happened. That wasn't that long ago that we had an election, and it turned out it was not. We had the November election. It wasn't that we did that. That wasn't that long ago, November. And then in January, our new president, your new president, if you live in the United States, my new president, like him or hate him, it's Donald Trump. So she said to me, I said, well, that's what's going to happen. She has no chance of winning. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. I didn't say it's going to be a bloodbath. It's not like she's going to jump into the wood chipper head first. Maybe she fell out of the coconut tree and into the wood chipper that cuts up the tree. Maybe she's in the coconut tree asleep, and then the coconut tree fell in the chipper. I don't know. So that's all I said. Trump was going to win. And she said, well, I don't think we can be friends anymore. I said, oh, okay. That's all I said. Oh, okay. There's people I've known since I was in the second grade or first grade. And they said, we can't be friends anymore because I'm a supporter of Donald Trump, which I'm not. I'm a supporter of the United States, and I support your right to vote for whoever you want. If you want to vote for Tim Walz to be the president of the United States, that's up to you. He's not going to win. I think he's pretty much done. I think we've heard the last of those people that didn't do very well in the election. I think people are kind of like, it's like avoid them like the plague. You always hear that. So she couldn't leave it alone. I said, have a nice life, do whatever. And she said, well, you are a racist if you like Donald Trump. I said, okay. What are you gonna say? I'm not. She can say that. She says I'm prejudiced, but if I really don't like Kamala Harris, and does she know it? How does the lady know that? Maybe she's prejudging me as a white man in my 60s that doesn't like Kamala Harris. I'm not a big fan of Kamala Harris. I have no idea what she's ever done. Has she ever done anything? I don't know. Maybe she has. I just don't really know much about her. And I'm from California. If anyone should know anything about her, it should be someone from California. But I don't know anything about Kamala Harris. A little annoying. Relatively okay looking, I guess. You shouldn't judge people by the way, but I don't know much about her. It seems that she's had kind of a sordid past. Is that what it's called when you kind of naughty. She's a little bit on the naughty side. But anyway, so she told me that I'm a racist and I'm this, and if I like him, I'm probably a rapist. And I said, okay, well then, in that case, you probably don't want to talk to me. You know, I don't want to have a conversation with someone that's a rapist. I want them to go to prison, maybe deport them too. Hey, David, you're deported. Okay, I deserve it. But she was a racist. I was this. He's a Nazi. Blah 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 blah. So be careful what you say, because some people, to me, it's just words. I go, it's ridiculous. You're a well-educated woman. You know it's ridiculous. You know it's stupid. And you know it's not true. You're not so ignorant and stupid that you would believe anything that you're saying. You're just saying that because you watch on TV and you have this emotional distraughtness about this Donald Trump fellow. They call it Trump derangement syndrome. So she told me, well, I hope he dies. I said, well, okay, well, be careful what you say. Some people are going to say something and they might take it wrong. So be careful. So she was typing the kind of stuff to me and to others. So I kind of stopped communicating with her husband at that point when she was going through the Trump derangement syndrome. He decided he just really couldn't stay with her anymore. This all was in election time when Biden stepped down and Kamala came in. And if only Kamala had more time for what? More time for losing. So he left her. Yeah, he left her. And I guess she was posting stuff to other people. And so because to me, it's just words. You're a woman, so I'm not going to go punch her in the nose or something, or somewhere else, whatever. And so for me, I don't really care what you say. Your opinion has no bearing on my life. I don't really care about your opinions. If it was true, I would look into it. Well, God, she is right, but she's not. So I don't have to worry about that. So he left her and all that. And then I guess she was posting more stuff, and I think there's another one, I can't remember if it's the same one, but one was saying that she was going to take lessons to learn how to shoot so she can be like a sniper or whatever, so she would then be able to finish the job that she put the guy's name, I guess, the one who shot him in the ear, that she would take care of that business, I guess is what she was saying. And she is now had a visit from Secret Service, FBI, law enforcement, some element of law enforcement, local or federal, I don't know. But I can tell you this, she's not working at the place she's been at for like 15 years as a compounding pharmacist. So that $225,000 a year that she's making in cash, not her benefit program, not her vacation time, not any other the perks, the Friday bagels and coffee day. Casual Friday bagels and coffee. I don't know what she had, but she's done. She's done. Yeah. She may not be able to handle that. If I lose my job, I say, David wants you to work for 20 days on this television program, and I work 3 days. He says, oh, we don't need you anymore. Oh, okay. I'll go try to find something else. So I don't have a job that I would actually harm myself or harm others because I lost it. But she said something like that about, I won't miss or something like that. And they fired her. And she, I guess, has had a visit from law enforcement. Maybe I don't know. I don't think she'll do time. But we have two judges that went to jail now because of what they're doing. So be careful what you say. For me, it's only words. And you're probably thinking the same thing. It's just words. How bad could it be? It's just words. If David said, I don't like Kamala Harris because I think she is, let's use a nappy-headed hoe. Remember that idiot said that? I don't think she is. She kind of has straight hair. Doesn't look nappy to me. Probably very well cared for her hair. I'm sure her hygiene is just fine. But if I said that, it's just words. It's just words. But if you instill a thought or you type out violence against anyone, it can really, really backfire. If I say, I don't like you, and you don't say, I don't like you, well, okay. Like when the lady said that she wasn't going to be, like the one I've known since the first or second grade. One of them I've known since I was 4 years old. Said she couldn't be my friend because I support Donald Trump. I'm a MAGA. None of it's true. I vote for who I think is best. And I think that's what you should do too. But it's none of my business. You don't even have to vote. People say, well, if you don't vote, you can't complain. Oh, yes, you can. You can complain. You're still a taxpayer. These people work for us. The President of the United States works for you. Yeah, that's a job. The President of the United States has a job to be the President of the United States. That's it. It's a job. One person gets to do it at a time. So if you are saying things like this, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what to do. I would just say, I would suggest being careful Because if you have a $225,000 job with the benefit package and the perks and everything, it's probably $300,000, I would imagine. I'm sure she has really good medical, right? And a 401 plan. I'm sure they're pumping money in that for her. Or maybe for every dollar she puts in, they double it or they match it. Or who knows? But that's a lot of money. And she lost her husband. They're married for years. You know, he's gone. I think they're going to get divorced. They'll end up being divorced. She should have got help with the mental. And maybe she will. Maybe she will. But now she has the mental condition of Trump derangement syndrome and all the weirdness. And then she has the fact that she made all these threats. And now she lost her job and all that. I'm sure she's a wreck. A wreck. I'm not going to write her and say, hey, I'm so sorry to hear that you lost your job. To tell you the truth, if you're threatening the President of the United States, losing your job is probably very minor to what you could get. Yeah, try saying that about the leader of, what about Vladimir Putin? You've never be seen again. How about this guy in Korea? Nope, you're gone. Iran, you're gone. So you got to understand, you're saying all these horrible things about the United States, but if you'd done that in other countries, you would be gone. Yeah, so be very careful. Put your comments down here. Do you think she was treated unfairly? Do you like this Donald Trump fella? Do you dislike him? Are you smart enough not to post threats against government officials? I hope you are. I hope you are. So please subscribe, like, share, and give me your thoughts down there. What's going on? Give me some comments. What do you think happened? I don't know. Take care.